Hey guys, this is Hamon, and welcome back to Bytesize, the show where I review games I have taken interest in. They have to be old, they have to be new, they just have to be something I'm interested in. And today, I'm going to be talking about Pizza Tower, a fun game that takes a lot of the stuff, from Wario Land and puts it in an interesting way. So, what I can surmise is that your character, Peppino, has a pizza place, and then a pizza tower opened up next to it that I guess is taking his business. So he's taking it upon himself to go over to that tower and take it down himself. Along the way, he meets various characters and works with two other characters that I guess are his employees and a rat. And yeah, it's very interesting. So right off the bat, the graphics, it's very interesting. It's got like that 90s vibe to it. Like, it's kind of grotesque but also cartoonish and all that. So it's very interesting. I mean, when you go into like the boss levels, you get like a very grotesque zoom in on character look to it that you get from, like, say, Fairly Odd Parents, Ren and Stimpy, those kind of shows and all that. And you just see all kinds of interesting things throughout the levels. Like, there's one like about war, there's one about aliens, one of being in golf, one of being a knight, going against various enemies and all that. All of them look very interesting and appropriate for their levels and such. I mean, you have the generic ones, you have like the cheese ones, and one's based off actual ingredients and stuff, but then you have like the unique ones per the levels, like in the fast food saloon, you get like these milk cartons that have like little guns and look like cowboys and such, and there's this rocking horse you have to race against in order to get the prizes and all of that. And it's all been very interesting, and I have no real issue with it per se. Like, I don't personally find anything wrong with it. I love that it's going for this kind of 90-ish design to it. I mean, if I'm wrong in what it's trying to emulate, that's on me, but that's what it says to me. It gives me that 90s Nickelodeon vibe / Cartoon Network / whatever other cartoons that did that kind of thing did. And yeah, so with that, going into gameplay, I mentioned it earlier, it is a lot like Wario Land. Specifically though, it is Wario Land 4 in different ways. For instance, most Wario Land games, you have the typical thing where you're exploring a level to collect all the treasures, beat the enemies, accomplish separate goals and all that. In this one, it takes the Wario Land 4 more, because there's, at the end of the level, like the end of the map, there is a thing that you have to hit that gives you a time. And once that time starts, you have to head back to the beginning and get back through the entrance before that time runs out. Now, unlike Wario Land 4, if you do not make it there in time, what happens is that a pizza, I guess like the actual boss of the whole tower thing, appears and will chase you down. Now, you could still escape while he's doing this, but the moment he catches you, you have to restart from the beginning, basically. Which is actually nice. I like that. It's definitely a very different twist to the mechanic of it all. And what I enjoy is the running mechanics to this whole thing. Like, he has moves when he's fighting, to fight the enemies and all that, but a lot of times it's like you're going to be wanting to run for the most part, because a lot of things require you to be very fast to do. Like, to make it to the other side of a certain part, to run across certain things, to mow down a bunch of enemies. Basically, it's a lot of requiring you to basically just speed up and don't stop. Now, there's more to it, because it's like it also allows you to do things like jump really high, because once you start running, you can actually redirect the energy to going high, and then if you reach a certain level and you want to go like left or right, you can easily press the button or key, if you're using mouse and keyboard, to change direction again. And it's very interesting, like I said. And there's a lot of exploration to it as well, because there's also secrets, there's also secret treasures, and it makes you have to like go back to the levels over and over again if you miss them. Now, I'll put this in terms of the bosses for this. It's interesting. Like most of them have a slightly the same mechanic. You have to basically beat them up. But what was interesting is that the second one, the Vigilante, which is this glob of cheese that has a cowboy hat and a gun, he doesn't fight you normally. Like, you can't hurt him with your own fist. You have to actually beat him with a gun. Like, you have to shoot him with the gun he provides, which is funny. And after a while, you have to, you have to beat him with it all over again, because a lot of these bosses have this thing where it's like you have to beat it the first time, you have a second phase to go through, which is really just them going through the same thing, just slightly harder. For instance, with the Vigilante, what happens once you get to the second phase is that everything goes dark, and you have to fight him doing his things again. A lot of it is just the same stuff. He throws dynamite, he shoots a machine gun, he does the thing with the flamethrower, he does a bazooka and all that, and whereas, say, the Noise will actually change up his attacks a bit. Like one of his attacks is that he goes up into the air in a little balloon and drops bombs on you. Now, in first phase, that's it. He just drops down and you're able to hit him. But in the second phase, what happens is that he drops a phony one. Now, if you're not privy to that the first time, you will, in fact, get hurt by that because it explodes when you get close to it. And then afterwards, he gets down. Now, if you're already hurt, then it's like you lost the moment to hit him, basically. But that's the most interesting thing about it. It's like this game is kind of twisting around the phases and different mechanics in it, and I enjoy it for that. While it is retaining most of the stuff that made Wario Land 4 really good, and the Wario Land games in general, like they all had similar mechanics, but they always twisted it a little bit. I mean, hell, Wario Land 1 was technically just a Mario game. Wario Land 2 kind of expanded on it by adding more stuff. Wario Land 3 added multiple treasures where you have to run through things, adding multiple power-ups and various things that you'd have to do. And then Wario Land 4 added the time mechanic. So this is basically just a culmination of it all, in a sense, because it has also the power-up mechanics, just, not the way you think. They're all most of them are temporary anyway, and are very underpowered in a sense. Like, they're very balanced in a way. But either way, it's definitely a really good game, and in the end of it all, and I would definitely suggest getting it. If you want to see for yourself, please go check it out on Steam. It is at the price that is available here and available on the following consoles. I know I said that in reverse, but hey, I'm sticking with it. And with all that said, I want to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Bytesize. If you did, please leave a like, favorite, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And I'll see you next time. Bye!